Spiritual awakening is not a trend. It's not an aesthetic, a playlist, or a morning routine. It's a dismantling, a deep, soul-level unraveling of everything you thought was true until it wasn't. If you're waking up, really waking up, you already know this path isn't easy, but it's real. And in that rawness, that truth, everything starts to change. Here are 10 of the most universal realizations people have during a deep spiritual awakening. 1. You are not who you thought you were. You begin to see that your identity, the version of you you've lived inside, was built through programming, family expectations, societal conditioning, trauma responses, survival strategies. You believe that was you, but as you wake up, that illusion starts to fall apart. You stop asking, who am I supposed to be? And start asking, who am I beneath it all? It's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. What's left? Something deeper. Your soul, your essence, consciousness itself. You were who you were before you got here. 2. You've been asleep in a dream world. You realize life as you knew it was more like a dream than reality. So much of it, ego desires, cultural values, success metrics, suddenly feels off. Vacant. Fake. You start noticing how distracted and disconnected the world is. How much is designed to keep us numb? You used to go along with it all. Now you can't. You see how noise was used to drown out truth, how comfort was sold to keep you compliant. The dream wasn't peaceful, it was programmed. And waking up feels like pulling yourself out of a trance you didn't know you were in. 3. This world is a spiritual battleground. You see life differently now, not just physical, but energetic. There are forces at play, truth versus illusion, clarity versus confusion, love versus fear. You become aware of what you consume, what you watch, who you're around, what you believe. You start to sense that every choice is a vote for your expansion or your suppression. It's not just food and media, it's conversations, environments, even thoughts. The battleground isn't out there. It's in your mind, your body, your energy field. And the more you wake up, the more intentional you must become. Because everything has a frequency, and your vibe is affected whether you're conscious of it or not. 4. Pain was your teacher, not your enemy. You start to see your pain in a new light. That trauma, heartbreak, betrayal, they weren't punishments. They were initiations, sacred catalysts, designed to break down the false self, so the true self could emerge. You realized the breakdown was the breakthrough, that your suffering wasn't in vain. It was sacred preparation. Each wound became a doorway. Each scar, a symbol of the self you reclaimed. Pain didn't destroy you. It revealed you. 5. Everything is its energy, frequency, and vibration. This becomes more than a quote. It becomes your lived experience. You feel how your thoughts shift your state. You notice how spaces affect your nervous system. You sense when people are nourishing and when they're draining. You learn to guard your field, to transmute energy, to raise your frequency, not to escape the world, but to show up in it more aligned. 6. Most people are still asleep. This one hits hard. You start to feel the disconnection between you and the world around you. people clinging to the very illusions you just broke free from. They avoid discomfort. They fear disruption. They reject what they don't understand. You may try to help them see, but eventually you realize every soul has its own timing, and not everyone is meant to wake up, at least not right now. 7. The universe is alive and communicating with you. You begin to witness synchronicities, patterns, messages, those repeating numbers you keep seeing, that animal that keeps showing up, that song that plays at the exact right moment. You're not imagining it. Life is intelligent, alive, interactive. You begin to read reality like a sacred text, and every day becomes a conversation with Source. The more present you become, the louder the universe speaks, not in words, but in winks, in rhythms, in resonance. You stop calling things coincidence. You start recognizing divine timing. Even silence carries guidance, if you're still enough to hear it. 8. You have a purpose beyond survival. You weren't born just to pay bills, scroll endlessly, and die. You feel it, the urgency, the ache, to live on purpose. Your soul carries a blueprint, a mission, a reason you came here. And awakening brings that reason into focus. It might not be loud or obvious, but it's there, calling you forward, asking you to stop settling and start remembering who you are and what you came here for. 9. Letting go is required for ascension. You can't rise while holding on to what's heavy: toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, unhealed wounds, performative identities. The more you awaken, the more shedding is required. It's painful. You'll grieve versions of yourself. You'll lose people who no longer align. But that loss is sacred. It creates space for your next level of being. You begin to understand, not everything can come with you. Some things were only meant to serve your former self. Letting go isn't failure. It's a rite of passage. You don't ascend by adding more. You ascend by releasing what was never truly you. 10. Love is the core frequency. Not romantic love, not codependent, conditional love, divine love, the love that exists as presence, as truth, as resonance. You begin healing your relationship with yourself. You stop seeking outside and start anchoring within. Because love isn't something you find, it's something you return to. Spiritual awakening is not a destination, it's a rebirth, again and again. Each realization strips away the lie, so the soul can speak louder. You'll lose things, you'll outgrow versions of yourself, but in return, you'll gain clarity, connection, and a kind of peace the world can't manufacture. So if you're waking up, keep going. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're becoming the realest version of yourself. And that's the whole point.